Come up.
Jerry, I need to have a word with you, please.
What do you got, Bubba?
I got a problem.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And I misunderstood something. I don't know if I misinterpreted something or what. But isn't the whole primary purpose for us hiring judges and law enforcement people and having courts and jails, is it supposed to be some sort of like a guardian to protect us? Isn't that the purpose for having law enforcement?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
They're supposed to protect us from getting hacked. They're supposed to protect us from people
That's their motto. To serve and
getting
protect.
our identity. They're supposed to protect us from being robbed. They're supposed to protect us from being taken advantage of, correct? And I'm recording this right now. But something has happened to the court system to the point, instead of them wanting to protect us or be our guardians, they want to fuck us.
It's starting out there on the street where it's starting. When the cop
It's starting in the courtrooms.
Now, when a cop can't do his duty out there on the street, that's where it breaks down right there.
Well, you can't just shoot a man in the back whenever he's running from you, and
He's a felon. He was a felon the instant he broke run.
It don't matter if he was a felon or not. He's still a human being, and he don't deserve to die.
Why not?
Why not? Well, that means you're supposed to go out here and kill anybody that runs from you or breaks the law.
Think if he had a gun, he would have shot that cop?
That's hypothetical,
Well,
Jerry.
no.
That's a hypothetical, and he didn't have a gun.
No.
He didn't have a gun. That's the fact.
He had the cop's taser.
Okay, but that ain't a lethal weapon.
Wait, have you ever been hit with a taser?
That is not a lethal weapon. That is not going to kill you. It may knock the piss out of you, but it's not going to kill you.
You can kill them.
Do I know?
Some people you can kill them with it.
Once more, that's a hypothetical.
You got answers. Everybody's got answers for everything, see. But when the law breaks down, they're not allowed to serve and protect. And
they're supposed to use the amount of force against them as that's being opposed upon to them, correct? Correct?
Well, not necessarily, no. No, their job is to serve and protect. Now, if you assault them, they've got every right to get right back at you.
But they don't have a right to kill you.
Some people say yeah, some people don't. I say yeah.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So let's say you was having a bad day. Let's say you was having a bad day that day. Let's say you was the one that was in that car. Let's say you'd already drank one or two too many, and you wasn't within your right mind, because you know what alcohol and drugs does to you. It makes you not be within your right mind. But let's just say, hypothetically, let's look at a hypothetical here, and let's say that you was in that situation, and all of a sudden you got roused up, and he cooperated with those cops for about 30, 35, 40 minutes until there at the last, whenever they got ready to slap the handcuffs on him, and that's whenever the old boy thought about it, and that's whenever something run through him, and that's whenever he said, you know what, I'm tired of going to jail, I'm tired of being treated this way, I'm going to get out of this situation if I can, and he fled. Let's say that was you. Let's say that was you.
Yeah.
Let's say that was you.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you got a family, you got a wife, you got kids. Now you gonna throw that kind of a burden off on your wife and your kids because a cop decided that he was gonna shoot somebody in the back?
He didn't shoot him as murder. He stopped it.
My cousin was shot in the back, Jesse James. You think that was right?
He shot in the head.
He got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, back of the head, hanging up.
He still got shot. He still got shot in the back.
You don't think he was an outlaw?
Yes, he was an outlaw. But there's a proper way of doing things and an improper way of doing
back
things.
in them days, it was wanted, dead or alive. Preferably dead. That way they didn't give you no problem.
Well, they've changed since then. They've changed since then, and we're supposed to be more humane.
You can't be humane to somebody that don't want to be humane.
Jerry, they could have caught that guy after he run out of breath, They could have. They done already had his driver's license. They done already had his car.
They had everything.
He wasn't gonna go
And
nowhere.
everything he done, flunked.
He wasn't gonna go
He was
nowhere.
drunk, driving a vehicle,
He deserved to be punished for that.
got out,
But the punishment for
What
that
took the
isn't
breath?
death.
breath test.
The punishment for that isn't death, Jerry.
Failed that.
They killed the
Then he
man.
decided when they said you're under arrest.
How come these cops all of a sudden has the jurisdiction of being the executioner now?
It's just a type of force. Now, all cops are not that way.
They was
You
running
got good-
from them guys.
you
He
got
was
bad-
running from them guys, Jerry.
Yeah, he was running, wouldn't stop. That's
I-
another felony. Right there.
It is. That's another charge.
Where you gonna
But
be?
but it's not a charge deserving of death.
What about if he'd have got away? What would have happened?
He
the
couldn't have
next
got
day?
away too far because he had his driver's license, had his automobile.
He might not have went home.
Once more, that's a hypothetical.
Oh, well, see, everything that don't answer your question is hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical.
Cops are being pushed back right now.
Whenever you
They
take,
can't do
all right.
nothing
Let me
without
ask you about the
propaganda.
deep.
Wait a minute, I ain't done. They're waiting on right now. Anything they do is on camera.
Yes, sir.
You've got people strolling up and down the road with cameras.
Yes, sir.
Cameras. What's going to happen? Like it did in Atlanta last night. We sat there and listened to it on the scanner.
What happened last night?
The cops went home. The dispatcher was calling everybody. Nobody answered. Let them have that for a while. Let them crooks go in them houses and stomp the doors in and kill or rape or whatever they want to do. The cops are sitting at home. They're going to have a cup of coffee. Now,
So now the cops is going on strike.
they are too.
The cops has sworn duty. They have raised their hand
Oh, they
to
do.
sworn to protect.
Play at Badger. I've got 30 days leave.
They have
I'm taking
sworn
leave.
to protect.
Make no difference.
And now you're telling me that they're all going home?
Yes, sir. They was all home last night, except a few of them.
Jerry,
He was calling off card numbers, then went to names. He was calling names down. Every once in a while, be one answer. We have a call at such and such an address. We're on our way. The rest of them, wasn't nobody home. And that's what it needs to do. Like Seattle last time.
Seattle.
They need to burn that place. Trump wanted to put a wall, he needs to put a wall around it. Them idiots up there have gone nuts. All they want to do is burn, steal, but
Jerry, do you think it was right for that cop to take his knee and
No,
put
sir.
against that man's
No,
neck
sir, that's what I
and
said.
kill that man in
That's what
what
I
was
said.
it, 8 minutes and 46 seconds of killing that man? Do you think that was right?
no. That was pure murder.
But it ain't. But two wrongs don't make a right as far as getting out here protesting and burning buildings and doing destruction.
That's
Neither
what
does
they're
it.
doing over it.
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing over, not the cops.
So how do we stop it?
You clean house is the main thing.
Clean house.
Clean house.
So where is the
Good
house?
judge.
Where is the house?
Up down in D.C. You start with the Senate, the Congress, even the president maybe. You clean house.
All these courtrooms,
You let them be known.
all these capitals,
These judges got
You-
one right over at Union City right now.
for what?
Old Smith.
For what?
Anything.
Got him for what?
No, he'll turn you loose. He don't want you over there. He don't want nobody over there. They carry him to jail, they beat him back to town.
But yet now we got hangmen. We got hangmen's judges. One over there in Weakley County that hates me because instead of them being a guardian towards protecting me, they want to stick it up my you know what.
Well,
Why?
how much problems you ever give them?
I haven't over in Weakley County.
And they're stepping out of bounds then.
Sure they are.
But until you cross the line,
See ya.
all right, baby,
Went home and ate supper.
go on, we supper. Where you have it?
Grilled salmon.
Oh,
Jerry, they've got me marked. They've got me marked as a potential terrorist. You know that, don't you?
no, you know that.
Yeah, they got me marked as me being a potential terrorist.
No wonder they watching you then. They watch them people. And some of it is okay and some of it's uncalled for. I'll agree for that on both sides.
Am I not supposed to have the right to my Constitution as same as anybody else?
Yes, sir.
My father fought in World War II. You fought what? In the Green Berets?
Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. How many years did you serve?
6.
How many?
6.
6 years. You fought what? The Gooks over in
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Got gassed, got beat up on, done without. So you have fought for our Constitution too, right? What is our Constitution? Freedom of speech? Right to bear arms?
Right to assembly.
Freedom of religion, right?
Right to assembly, yeah.
Right to assembly, freedom of religion, right?
Religion.
Okay, whenever I was down there in Jackson, Tennessee, in 1989, and they pulled me over whenever I was going around with all those horses in the back end of my truck, and they confiscated a sword that belonged to me that was locked up in a showcase box that wasn't harming and hurting nobody. Was that right, Jerry?
I don't know the situation.
That was my right to bear arms. It don't say what kind of arms. It just says the right to bear arms. It wouldn't have mattered if it would have been a spear or a bow and arrow.
They shouldn't have done nothing with it as long as you didn't have it out
That's right.
in the open.
I was using it for a teaching aid. But they confiscated it. Homeland Security confiscated it from me in 1989. And then it wasn't until 1991 whenever they said that I was on my way to Washington, D.C. to take out George Walker Sr. Bush's life. Which was a lie. The thing about it is, George Walker Sr. Bush is dead. Him and Miss Betty's dead. So how come I'm not off of this watch list, this spook list? How come I'm still on there?
Routes to go through for that.
Huh?
There's routes you have to take to go through that to get it off, get it expunged.
Not whenever they put different wording in there to the point that it's unexpungible.
So you have to go start off with your state representative. That's who you start off with. When he goes to Nashville, that's what you want to do. You either want to go with him or have papers filled out to where he can bring it before the judge up there and the court to see about getting your record expunged.
I just sat in front of an attorney today. I went to an attorney today to change my will. According to him, if there's certain terminologies that they have put in your charge, it doesn't matter if you know the governor himself.
Well,
according to this attorney that I talked to today, you're still not going to get your record cleaned up.
If they word it.
See, is that right? Is
No.
that right, Jerry?
No.
I used to iron work with you, man. We used to hang steel together, did we not?
Yep.
We worked for how many years together?
Terrible.
3 or 4?
Yep.
Hanging big iron.
But
We hung that building up down there in Jackson, Tennessee. The First Baptist Church down there. How high was that steeple? 180 foot high, 190 foot high, something like that? I mean, me and you, we've known one another all our lives.
that's what you got to do. Start with your state
They won't
representative.
let me do it.
But our representative,
They won't let me do it.
he's supposed to talk to you anytime. If he won't talk to you on the phone, find out where his office is or where he's at that time.
I'm telling you, they won't let me do it. They've got me landlocked of a different word, some sort of a specialized word, to the point that my record is unexpungible. So that's the reason why that I'm using YouTube platform. I'm using social media platform, just like right now where we're recording this conversation. That way I can get my story out there to the people, and maybe there can be enough people out there that'll say, you know what, this old boy really has been wronged by the system, hadn't he?
You'll have to hire you an attorney, is what you have to have. And there ain't no telling what that costs.
Well, I done been out too much money on them towards what the system has costed me, because it's not that I have challenged the system, it's that the system has challenged me, Jerry. Now I want to know why. Why has the system challenged me?
I don't know.
Why has the courts and the judges and the senators and the congressmen, why has this government challenged me pertaining to my rights?
Have you talked to the representative?
You talking about Billy Sanderson?
No, Lord, no.
He was a representative.
It was. Not
He
now.
was. Did you know that he blackballed me?
Gil.
He blackballed me. The Sanderson family blackballed me. Just like they blackballed me in 1983 whenever I went up here in the city hall and tried to get some sort of help. And the type of help that I got was, Juby, you're crazy. And patted my father on the back and said, well, Bob, you done a good job towards trying to finish him off. We just wish you'd have went ahead and done it. In the meantime, they branded me and sent me to freaking Bolivar and told him, go pick your boy up whenever they get through evaluating him. They branded me right here in Kenton, Tennessee. Right here. Branded me. The mayor. What was his name? Damian Cross? Did you know Damian Cross?
Oh,
Huh?
yeah, I knew.
The Cross family was supposed to have been kin to the Neals, some way or another, or the Rings or something. You know, I'm supposed to be kin to the Neals. I'm supposed to be kin to the Rings, because my grandmother's sister married a Ring, Jim Ring, and we're also kin to the Graveses over here. This bunch over here is part of the bunch that helped to stain and basically destroy my reputation right here in Kenton, Tennessee. It literally makes me sick to come in Kenton, Tennessee and do any business with them because I know how they are.
Go over to Trenton and talk to Robert Kenton. He's a lawyer right there on Courthouse Square. If anybody can get anything done, he can. He messes, he plays golf and everything with all of them.
Well,
Oh, I gotta get home and get mixed
instead
up.
of me giving them money, I'm praying that retribution falls down upon this country to the point of misery.
Oh, we didn't see nothing yet.
Misery. I'm talking about misery. I hope God brings more misery upon these freaking people over here than they can freaking stand. I'm talking about fires, floods, famines, diseases, anything that'll bring them down to their freaking knees. That's what I'm praying for.
You don't wish nobody no bad luck, do you?
No, what I'm wishing for is justice. Justice. And there ain't going to be no peace until there's justice. And until we clean these courtrooms up, until we clean our laws up, there ain't going to be no justice. That's what I'm looking for.
Go over and talk to him.
I might. But they've done aggravated me at the age of 59 years old. What difference does it make now? You know, I'm disabled. I can't work. Or ain't nobody going to hire me to work. I've got diabetes too. You know, I've got diabetes. They've already driven my health down. But whenever I talked to that attorney today, he said he said, we don't know for sure about your case. He said, but if they have used a certain word in your agreement that you made with them, he said, it doesn't matter hell or high water, you're not going to be able to expunge your record.
He's right.
But is that right?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
Everybody deserves what I call a second chance. Everybody. Don't care how much trouble you've been in. Get it all took care of, clear it up,
It wouldn't matter if I was a murderer.
have another chance.
If I had spent my time and paid my dues to society, once I come back out, I should have just as much of an opportunity to pull my bootstraps back up and start all over again as anybody else. But how can you do that if they're going to hold your feet to the fire, Jerry?
It's hard.
How can you do that in these little old towns where everybody and their brother knows you?
You ain't gonna do it in a little town.
No, you ain't going to do it.
No.
Because they got too much personal vendetta. It's like a blood grudge. It's like, well, I know that boy. You know, if the truth be known, we was probably persecuted right here in Kenton, Tennessee, the Jacksons, because of what happened with the Jordans. My uncle, remember my uncle, Charles Jordan?
Yeah.
The one that got busted right down the road here because he was working with the mob up there in Chicago with all them stolen cars. We probably got some of the retribution coming from society going our way, like we had something to do with his affairs.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a little town. One horse little town.
Yeah.
In other words, if you got an uncle or a brother or a mother or a father and they wind up doing something, it stains your name too as well. Because you're so closely knitted with everybody in the town. Everybody knows everybody.
You right there.
Uh-huh.
I gotta get home.
Well, we ain't gonna have nothing to do with Jerry, because Jerry's father, we caught Jerry's father doing that.
Yeah. Good luck, Bubba.
Take care, Jerry. Good talking to you. Jerry Green. Started out ironworking with him at the age of 15. Good guy.